We get away from the political stuff for a little bit. Joining me in studio, the owner and wine grower of Pheasant Ridge Winery, which is just doing some great things. Bobby Cox in studio. Hey, Bobby, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for coming in today.
It's fun to be here.
Well, it's great to talk a little bit about the wine industry here on the South Plains, and it is an industry, Bobby, as you know, that is a growing industry and a really important industry out here.
It's a wonderful crop for this area. When we talk about the area of stewardship, it's a wonderful crop because it doesn't require a lot of irrigation, and it's really very well suited for our climate here. The quality of our grapes is extraordinary because of the climate. The cool nights, the wind is a positive for the grapes. It helps them keep them disease-free, and it may be a little rough on the humans, but the grapes love it.
You know, a couple of years ago, I was down in the Fredericksburg area and did their wine tour. That's down there, and just about every stop you make, they reference the South Plains. They reference West Texas because of the wine industry, and people are amazed by it. It
doesn't really fit the conception of what a wine growing area is, but our grapes really are outstanding. And those hill country wineries, especially those 290 wineries, are really excited to be able to source the extraordinary quality fruit that we grow up here.
Tell folks a little bit about your history with obviously Pheasant Ridge, but also just winemaking.
Okay, I planted my first grape in Lubbock County in February of 1972. So I was going to Texas Tech at the time, had met the professors there, Clinton McPherson, Roy Mitchell, and Bob Reed, that were excited about the quality potential they found up here, and just have been involved in one way or another in the High Plains grape industry since I was a student at Texas Tech.
How has the industry expanded over the last several decades and obviously years?
Well, we had a patch there in the 90s that was difficult because of some legislation, and we didn't have much grape expansion for about 15 years, a little more than that. The wine industry rocked along with about 40 wineries in the state for 15 or 16 years. Then some legislation passed, a constitutional amendment that made some things legal that we were already doing. Don't really want to go into that. But the number of wineries in the state went from 40 to 400.
Wow.
Over the last few years. So there obviously was some pent-up demand.
Well, and that must mean out here the grape industry has exploded.
The planting of grapes is really taken off, and people are learning how to do it. The culture of wine growing is very involved. It's high-tech agriculture. It takes a lot of handwork. It takes a lot of knowledge, and it's different from your normal agronomic crops. And it's a horticultural crop that requires a lot of capital, a lot of expertise, and a very long-term look at nature. Our agronomic crops, it's a 1 year. You make a mistake and either profit from it or are damaged. In grapes, it takes years for a good decision to come through and show up on the bottom line. It's a very, very long-term affair. And this has been known throughout civilization. And one of the wonderful things in the Bible, when Noah exited the ark, he planted a vineyard. Well, in that culture and in that time, people understood that he was there to stay. In other words, the decisions that he made were going to be long-term. There was not going to be any migratory activity or whatever, that he had put down roots.
It's a great thing to learn about, and I've also heard that the soil matters too. Not only the temperature, what we have here with the cool nights, but the soil matters too, right?
The soil is one of the best soils on the face of the earth. It is a wind-deposited loess, and which that means is the most soils are alluvial. They're generated and deposited by water. Ours is deposited by wind. In other words, we have the best soil that the Rocky Mountains in New Mexico can give us. It fell right here, and that's one of the reasons our grapes grow so well.
Tell our listeners a little bit about Pheasant Ridge.
I established Pheasant Ridge. We bought the land and planted the vineyards. Bought the land in 1978, planted the vineyards in 1979. Founded Pheasant Ridge Winery in 1982. My family has not been involved with the winery since 1992, but we recently reacquired the winery and are going to basically start over again and start over from a base of knowledge that I didn't have 30-something years ago. I was very enthusiastic, but enthusiasm of youth is sometimes not as valuable as the experience.
Well, and you are going to be doing a wine and dinner very soon.
Yes, we're going to do a dinner at Harrigan's. This is going to be Sunday night, and it is going to pair Pheasant Ridge wines with the cuisine produced there. It's going to be really a lot of fun. We've got some fun things going on there. You're going to get to meet the Cox family. It looks like that the entire clan is going to be there. My mother, my father, my wife and I, my son and his wife, and my 4 grandbabies. So you're going to get to meet the entire. That's worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah. How do people get signed up?
Call Harrigan's. We have it it's up on the Pheasant Ridge, PheasantRidgeWines.com wine site. We have a website. It's up on Facebook. If you want to try that, I haven't mastered Twitter yet. That's one of the things that I need to do. But some of these older dogs, the new tricks are hard to learn.
And where is Pheasant Ridge Winery located, and when can people head out and see you?
Okay, right now we're just open on Saturdays. We will be open this Saturday. We're just north of the airport. Take the 1729 exit out of New Deal. Google will tell you to take Farm Road 5600. And if you do that, you will be well acquainted with my beautiful little orange Kubota tractor and a chain, because it's nothing but about a mile of it is kind of the Russian mud kind of look right now. So go around on 1729. But we're one of the few Texas wineries that is right there in the middle of its vineyards. In other words, you're able to get that full experience of the grapes growing right there and be able to put your hands on them and look and see where the wine comes from.
Well, you've got some great wines, and I know you all have been out at the last couple of wine events that have gone on here in town, and you seem to be a pretty popular booth these days.
Oh, that's great. The excitement of the wine industry is kind of catching on. Mm-hmm. We do, grow a majority of the grapes up here on the high plains, and a majority of the wineries are somewhere else. We're hoping to maybe repair that a little bit and make that a little bit different, to try to add a little economic activity. And one of the things is I drive around and look at this area and look at the vineyards. Vineyard work, there's a lot of handwork involved. It's relatively skilled handwork. You look at these little towns around West Texas and see, too much emptiness. And we feel that, we're able to supply a job to people who are skilled and interested. And wine growing is absolutely remarkable in that it reaches out and touches the human heart. People that work in the vineyards, it's they get a real love for it. It's not drudgery. It's it's fun. Yeah. And you get to see, the value of your work, and it's just a real gives people a sense of accomplishment.
Bobby Cox, Pheasant Ridge Winery here in Lubbock. Tell folks where exactly or how they can get out and see you on Saturday, and then one more time who they need to call to be hooked up with this dinner and wine event going on.
Call Harrigan's, and we still have a few spots remaining. Like I say, we nearly filled the place up with my family, but that'll be a great time to enjoy the wines of Pheasant Ridge in a setting with some great food from like we say, two great Lubbock traditions, both Harrigan's and Pheasant Ridge. We've both been around a long time, and we're still good and we're still cooking.
Bobby, thank you very much.
Thank you.